Hi friends, welcome to the Inspired Knitting Podcast. I'm your host Bobby and I am coming to you from Straight Shores, New Brunswick, Canada. Today is Friday the 13th, March the 13th, March the 13th, 2026, and you are watching episode 139. Welcome. This is my podcast about my knitting adventures and crocheting, and sometimes there is spinning. There has not been any spinning in my life lately, sadly enough, but there has been lots of knitting and crocheting, so welcome. I always leave detailed show notes down below. There is a more button that you can click, and there's always detailed show notes to anything that I talk about, like patterns and designers and whatnot. You can also find links to where you can find me on the internet. I am most active on Instagram as Inspired Knitting Podcast, and I am also on Ravelry as X Country Girl 1986X. But that's kind of my own just little portfolio of what I have worked on. I don't leave detailed notes on what I have done really, so it's not very helpful. So I link you directly to the pattern makers. Yeah, so that's where you can find me. Let's get into it. It's been 2 weeks since I did a regular episode. Last week I did a two-part series on Frog It or Finish It. Yeah, a couple of you really liked it, and I'm glad that you did. It was something different and fun to do. It was nice to pull out all of my projects and kind of reassess them and kind of get remotivated on some of them. And I would like to thank some of you for your helpful input on my projects. One of you suggested that I make a jar and put my projects in, like name them, put them in a jar, and then pick one out. So I think that's a wonderful idea, and I think I am going to do that. I've already picked out a project for this week. So I'm still unsure of how I would like to do it. Whether I want to pick a project and work on it just for a week or a month. I think I would rather do a week because I am not a monogamous knitter. I don't like working on the same things all the time. I like a change. So we shall see. I think it'll be every week that I might change them up. But I do have a project that I picked out for this week, and I actually just started working on it today. But that's okay. I got some good progress on it, so I'm happy with that. But thank you for your input, and we'll see how motivated I stay. I had close to 30 projects in total, I think. I frogged 8 of them. Some of them have yet to be frogged. I haven't gotten that far, but it felt nice just to reassess and go through all of that. And it's nice to know I'm not the only one out there with a lot of projects. Some of you made me feel really good by saying that it's not totally embarrassing, because you guys have some lingering whips as well. So I think we all do. But it was just kind of a shock that I had that many. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But today, for today's episode, I have knitting and crochet to share with you. I have finished objects and I have works in progress. So let's just jump right into it. First of all, before I forget, the first project that I'm going to share with you, I'm going to insert a picture here. I finished another pair of knee-high socks. The main colorway was Area 51 fibers on her sturdy alien base in Wednesday's rainbow. And then the contrast heels, toes, and cuffs is lichen and lace in the ultraviolet colorway. So these ones were cranked. I believe that is pair 13 for 2026 for crank socks. So I just cranked, it comes in Area 51 fibers, it comes in 50 gram skeins. So I pretty much just cranked 212 rounds, and that pretty much used up the whole 50 gram skein. And then I did that for the second sock. And then I hand knit on the heels, toes, and the cuffs. and that is what I got, and they turned out wonderful. They were already given to a fellow vendor, so she is hopefully enjoying them now. So I don't have them to show, but hopefully I will have inserted the picture for you guys to see, because it is a beautiful colorway. I absolutely love it. So the next pair of socks I have to share with you, and I might have to refer to my book for the number, but I believe this is pair 7 or 8 for 2026 for hand knit socks. And these I did share on my Frogget or Finish video, but now they are finished, a finished pair. This is Rose Hill Yarns in their December's Candy Shop colorway, and it is a DK weight. So it came with the DK main skein, and then it came with 2 contrasting mini skeins. So what I did is I alternated. I did pink for the cuff on one and green for the heel on the other, and then I just did the opposites for the second sock. And I think they turned out really well. If you would like to follow a pattern for DK weight socks, Kay Litton, Crazy Sock Lady Designs, has a, I believe it is a free DK weight pattern. It's called DK weight vanilla socks. I will have it linked below. And she gives you 3 sizes to follow. Sassy. That's my princess. She's come to say hello. But yes, that is the pattern that I usually follow. I did the medium size, and yeah, they turned out great. Because there was a contrasting cuff and heel, I did about 30 rows for the leg. I use a 2.75 millimeter needle. I really like my gauge on that. I am a loose knitter. So I found that knitting on anything bigger, it's just too loose and I don't like it. So I use a 2.75. But yeah, they turned out wonderful. I love them. And these are not going anywhere. These are not going anywhere. Okay, so that was, actually I'm going to refer to it now. Get my book out here. This is my little book, my little journal, whatever you would like to call it, that I am using this year to kind of keep track of my grams in and my grams out. I had attempted to do this once before, and I think I got like halfway through the year and I kind of just gave up on it. Well, this year I would really like to keep up with it, and I'm just curious at the end of the year. I'm not on a no-buy yarn, even though I probably should, because I have more than I could ever want or need, but I'm not going to do that. But it's just going to be nice at the end of the year to see kind of how I've done and kind of look back and see what I have done. So let me just see here. Okay, DK socks. Okay, so that is pair number 6 for 2026 for hand knit socks. So yeah. So while I got my book out here, I'm just going to do this quickly because I will indeed forget. For February, for my grams in and grams out, it's not good. Definitely not good. I had 1,818 grams out of my stash, which is pretty decent. I'm really happy with that number. However, I had 2,626 grams come in to my stash. And already I'm going to say for March, it's not looking good. Yarnspirations had a, and I think it's still going on, a 40% sale on all their yarns. And I ended up getting a bundle of Red Heart yarn. There's 18 skeins, 50 gram skeins in total. And it's all the colors of the rainbow. And because I'm making all these toys right now, I use acrylic yarn, and it's all the colors. So that's an amazing deal, 40% off. So I decided, let's just do it. Let's just get it. So there's 1,800 grams right there that came into my stash. And all that to say, the other day we had a very beautiful day, very spring-like weather. It was 18 degrees Celsius here in the Maritimes. And we went out and we went to Walmart, and I bought even more acrylic yarn in colors and for toys. It's all for toys. It's all for the market, but it does not help my yarn stash at all, because I am counting acrylic yarn. I'm not just doing indie dyed yarn. I am counting any yarn that comes into my stash, because when I do a toy in acrylic yarn or something in acrylic, I am rating it in this book as grams out. So it's only fair that I am counting my acrylic as grams in as well. So the amounts are high, but yeah, it is what it is. So March isn't looking the greatest. Oh well. All right then. So my next finished object that I have to share with you, I believe that was it for the knitting, right? Yes, that was it for the knitting. The next finished object I have to share with you is crocheted, and it is an axolotl with dog hair on it. Isn't it wonderful? I cannot tell you what the yarn is. I can say it's loops and threads. Yes, I just had a bag fall on me from the top of my cabinet. It's all good. It's all good. It is a pattern from Allfromjade. You can find this on amigurumi.com, and you can also find it on Etsy, I believe. So yeah, very wonderful pattern. The yarn is loops and threads, and it's kind of what I would call a chunky to, I would say it's a chunky yarn. And like I said, it is discontinued. So I had bought 4 balls of this. I had it in a dark blue. I had it in this multi-blue, white, and gray, and I was gonna do like a chevron baby blanket with it, and I ran out of yarn, and when I went back to Michael's, they said that they did not have they did not carry this yarn anymore. So I know I could have went on a Ravelry D-stash possibly and found it, but I just decided just use what I have in toys. So the dark blue I put into a whale. The whale is also a pattern from Allfromjade. And then I decided, why not take all the leftovers and make this axolotl, and I did. Now there's still some leftovers left, but you can see how I used like all the colors. And it is a mama. So that means, I don't know if she's supposed to have 1 baby in or 2, but I made 2. They're so cute. But I did make 2 babies. And this one I didn't put a mouth on it. I have to do that. But I did make 2 babies. And this was really good for my grams out, by the way. I think it was close to 400 grams that went out of my stash. So that is pretty awesome. But don't be intimidated by this part of the pattern. The pouch is made separately, but as you're crocheting the body, it is a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to give it away. But don't be intimidated by it. It is not hard. You do crochet it into the body of the axolotl, just like the mama whale and so on. So it is not hard at all to do. So don't be intimidated by it. The pattern, you can do the axolotl without the pouch. So if you wanted just to do her or a him, You don't have to do the pouch at all, but the pattern does come with instructions for the pouch, and it does come with instructions to do the little babies as well. I know that Allfromjade also has a pattern just for the babies. So if you didn't want to do the parents and just wanted the pattern for the babies, she does have that as well. But if you buy the pattern of Mama, or I don't even think it's called Mama Axolotl, it's just Axolotl, you do get the instructions for the babies as well. So you do not have to buy two separate patterns. I will link that one below. So yeah, very much worth your money, and she turned out amazing. The pattern does call for Bernat blanket yarn. So I think this is kind of compatible with it. So she's a fair size. She's big. So I presume if you use the blanket yarn, it would probably come out around this big as well. I am currently doing one in just plain worsted weight yarn. I didn't bring it with me because I only got like the gills done. And it is a no-sew pattern, by the way. So you do not have to sew these parts on, and you do not have to sew the legs on. It is all part of the pattern. So you make the gills and you make the legs first, and then as you are crocheting it, you are adding them in. So it is a no-sew pattern, and those are the ones that I love. So there she is. There's my axolotl. She's perfect. I love her. So again, that is a pattern from Allfromjade. I will link it below. Okay, so that is it for finished objects. I am going to go over to works in progress, but I kind of have half finished objects. They are finished, but it's not finished, if that makes any sense at all. So this is being housed in a beautiful dragon bag by Wonder Twin Fiber Arts. Very unique construction of a bag too. And in here is my Soot Sprite scarf, which is a commissioned scarf that somebody made at my market. And I actually finished the Soot Sprites. So originally I had just made the body of one to kind of get an idea of what I needed to do for the scarf, because this is not a pattern that I am following. This is one I'm just making up. These, however, are a pattern that I purchased on Etsy, and I think it was only a couple of dollars Canadian. So I will make sure to link that below as well. But here is the Soot Sprites. They're so cute. I am using Cascade 220, so it is a wool, and it's just in black. And then I did the eyes. You do the eyes, and you have to sew them on. And then I put safety eyes in the middle. But now they are finished, so I've got 2 Soot Sprites, so they will go on each end of the scarf. It's gonna be amazing. I absolutely love this project. Have to admit, I'm not having the greatest time working on it because it is black, so it is just a little bit tedious and boring. However, it is coming along nicely. So I am knitting this on a 4mm, I believe. Let me just, US 6 4mm. And as I said, it is a worsted weight yarn. It is Cascade 220. And I am just doing a garter stitch patterning, nothing fancy. And the end of it is tapered. So I started at this end here, and I just did 3 knit rows and then increased on each side. Knit 3 more rows, increased on each side by doing a knit front and back. And I did that until I got an increase of 40 stitches. And then I just started knitting back and forth across those 40 stitches. And This is where we were 2 weeks ago on the podcast. And this is how much I have gotten done, which is not a lot, guys. I could have probably had this thing knocked out already if I really wanted to. And I should have, but I did not because, like I said, I'm having a bit of a hard time working on it just because it's black. This second marker here, this light bulb marker, I'm just moving that every time I knit on it. That way I can see how much progress I'm making in that knitting session. So yeah. So now I will move this progress keeper up. Hopefully the next time you guys see this project, it's going to be a finished object because I really need to get this thing done. But we shall see. So that is my Soot Sprite scarf. And as I said, those Soot Sprites are going to be on the end of the scarf. So let me just hold one up here. So somehow it's going to be attached like so, one on each end. It's going to be adorable. So I'm pretty close to it. I already have almost 2 balls into this scarf. I have this much left of my second ball. So once I get this ball in, I'm going to measure and see how long we are at. It was requested to be 6 feet long. I'm trying to compensate for the fact that the Soot Sprites are going to weigh it down some. So I'm trying to still figure that part of it out. I don't want the scarf to be too long. So I'm going to get to the end of this cake and then measure again and see where we're at. If I have to add it in, I do have another full skein of it. So we'll see. We will see. But it is really squishy. It's really nice fabric. I'm very, very happy with it. So that is the progress on my Soot Sprite. So hopefully by next week, it will be a finished object. That would be really nice. So put these guys back away before I lose them. Now I did make a third Soot Sprite. I kind of messed up, not really messed up, but I had put weighted pellets in the first one that I made, and I made the second one without the weighted pellets. And I was like, oh darn, I forgot to put the pellets in it. But I liked the weight of the one without the pellets in it. So I just made a second one, the 2 that you saw, they don't have the weighted pellets in it. So the third one, I actually did put the eyes on, I put the legs and the arms on it as well. I am just gonna sell that one separately on my table. I might even put like a cute little bow on it. I'm not sure. I just didn't bother bringing that along with me, but it looks exactly the same as these 2. So I did make one of those as well. Okay, so where do we go next? How about I show you my opal socks, because you guys have seen those before. Since the last podcast, I did put a bit of work on them. I did, again, show them on my Frogger Finish, but in case you didn't watch that, I thought I would just pull them out here and share. So here is what I have so far. This is still the first sock. This doesn't get a lot of love. It's just whenever I'm either at the market, but I've been bringing the scarf with me to the market now. So it's just plain knitting, so it's really simple just to sit there and still manage my table, but just knit along. But before the scarf, the sock was that. So it's not been getting a lot of love, to be quite honest with you. But I absolutely love it. I am through the gusset decreases and I'm onto the foot. Really, really love this. This is no pattern at all. It's just a fingering weight sock. Cast on 64 stitches, 2x2 ribbing for 20 rows. I do about 50 rows for the leg. Slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. Yeah, nothing much to say about that. The yarn is, as I said, opal. It is part of their Aquarel collection. And it is in the color number 11535. And I have a couple more of the Aquarel collection, and I cannot wait to get into them because they look equally as beautiful as well. I really love that collection. So there is that one. The next one that I have to share with you, I'll continue on with the socks, is actually a new cast on. And because I like to have a pair of fingering weight socks on the go, and I also like to have a pair of DK weight socks on the go as well. So I decided, I finished my DK weight socks, so I needed another one on the needles. So I decided to do fingering weight held double because I have a cabinet back here that has new skeins, or practically new skeins, that are already caked up. So I kind of went through them and I put some colors together, and I just love the way that it works up. It's almost like a watercolor effect when you hold two fingerings together that are of a different colorway. So that's what I did. This is being housed in a new acquisition that I got, and I'm so happy about. I've always wanted one of these peekaboo bags. This is by Daisy Girl and Company. I believe she's based out of Minnesota. And there's her tag. I saw her bags on Crazy Sock Ladies podcast, and I just had to get one. And if you are in Canada, I did not get charged tariff for this bag, so that was actually really exciting. Because nowadays, I'm not sure anymore. So here is what we have so far. So this is still the first sock. The other day when we went out, I brought this sock with me, and I got quite a bit done on it. So here it is. So I'm holding fingering weight double. So for the cuff, this is all one color. And then for the main body, it's two different colors. So I casted on Crazy Sock Lady Designs DK weight vanilla pattern. And I did, again, the medium size. I did about 15 rows of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff, 30 rows for the leg, and I just did the slip stitch, heel flap, and heel turn, and I picked up my gusset. So now I have to decrease it. And that is what we have so far, and I absolutely love this sock. I think it is so beautiful. Those pops of red in there, oh, it's just beautiful. So for the yarns, I had, for the cuff, Gobsmacked Yarns. This is on her 4/4 base, which is 100% superwash merino. So I know it doesn't have nylon, and when it comes to socks, that always makes me a bit nervous, but it is for the cuff. I'm not putting it in the heel, but I'm thinking of doing it for the toe. So I think it should be okay. We'll see. It is 100% superwash merino, as I said, 438 yards in the deep waters colorway. This camera does not like to focus, right? Anyways, so I am holding that one double. And then for the main body of the sock, I had this beautiful bluey color. I have no idea whose yarn this is. It did not have a tag. Like a lot of the yarns in that cabinet, they don't have tags to them. And to be honest with you, I don't even remember. I could take a guess, but I would probably be wrong. So I'm not even going to do that. So I got this one, and I am holding it with, one of my most treasured, the Northern Pearl. She does not dye yarn anymore. In this beautiful, beautiful colorway. So I am holding these two double. And I think it is making the most wonderful fabric. Absolutely love it. They are both very soft. And they are just working up beautifully. I just love it. I have been really wanting to work on these, but I have other more important things right now at the moment that I need to get done, so, but they will get some love for sure. Okay, so there's that one. Let's go to, let's see what's in this bag, because I kind of forgot. Ah, yes. My last work in progress, that is a sock. I am doing another pair of vanilla fingering weight vanilla socks. Nicole C. Mendez. Love her yarn. She mostly does self-striping, and it is amazing. She is based in Germany. This color is called Hello Fall. And it doesn't really remind me of fall. It's very bright, and right now, even though we've had some beautiful weather, it is getting more sunny and more bright out, but I'm just loving working with the bright colors right now. So this one reminds me more of summer than it does fall, but the colorway is called Hello Fall, and it is on her strong sock base, which is 75% virgin wool, 25% nylon. And I just casted this on the other day, and I haven't gotten much done on it. Oops. But here it is. So as you can see, they're very bright, vibrant colors. Very beautiful. I cast it on 68 stitches. These are for a friend of mine, and she likes a little bit of a wider leg. So I cast it on 68 stitches, 2x2 ribbing for 20 rows. And now I'm just on to the leg of the sock, just plain vanilla. So yeah, that is what I have done on that one, and I really like it. Really am enjoying that one. I always enjoy Nicole C. Mendez. Her colorways are fabulous. Okay, so I got 3 more works in progress. I have to bring this one forward or I'm going to forget. The next one that I have to share with you is in another bag by Wonder Twin Fiber Arts. And it's got one of these clips. You roll the bag up and then you just clip it. I'm not going to reclip it, but yeah, it's really nice. It's just got a basic interior, which I love. Now, this is another project that I shared on my Frogger Finish. It is a new cast on. I couldn't resist casting this one on. This is the Bits and Bobs Cowl by Kay Jones. And that is how far I have gotten on it. Haven't done any progress this week on it at all, because I've been busy with other things, but that's how far I have gotten. So I am holding fingering weight with a Surrey alpaca. So I don't have a tag for the Surrey alpaca, but I'm pretty sure it's by Estelle Yarns. Very nice. And then for my fingering weight, I just went through a bunch of my scraps and magic knotted 100 grams together. And I was wanting to go for all the bright, fun colors. So there's no rhyme or reason to what I put in here. I just grabbed a bunch of different ones that I thought went well together, trying to keep with that bright theme. She recommends in her pattern that you do anywhere between 4 grams per stripe. You could do up to 12. To be honest, I don't know what mine are. They're just very random. Some are shorter, some are longer. There's even some self-striping in here. So this stripe right here, that is Polka Dot Creek. So that's a self-striping. But there's just, most of them are tonals and speckles though. I don't think there was a lot of self-striping in it. But like I said, I'm just grabbing random scraps and I magic knotted 100 grams together, which I'm thinking should get me through the whole cowl. I'm pretty sure of it. It is a paid for pattern, so I'm not going to give anything else away, but yeah, really loving this one. It's going to be super nice. And this is for me. So that is a new cast on that I have been enjoying. And it's really nice to go through my scraps and get them caked up and into projects, because I have quite a few scraps that are laying around, and it's nice to have those kinds of projects that you can put them into and use them up. So that's really nice. Okay, so I have 2 more to share with you. I have a new cast on. Because I frogged 8 of them, so I could have like 1 new, right? Yeah, that's my logic. Anyways, I was watching Crazy Sock Lady, and one of her her video wasn't really, she just did one. It wasn't really a frogger finish. It was just more or less bringing out her projects, seeing what she had, and just kind of motivating, right, to work on them. So one of her projects she had was her, I believe it's The Coziest Memories by Kemper Ray. She held fingering weight double to create a DK weight, and I saw her blanket and I was just like, I want one of those. And also Lisa of 72 Stitches, she's also making one as well. And I just wanted one of these blankets, and it's another way to use up my scraps. So I went on to Ravelry, and I actually got Cozy Memories blanket by Shelley Dupont, who is Polka Dot Creek. And the pattern is only $2 Canadian, and it is the same concept. It's fingering weight. She gives you the basics on how to do your mitered square and how you do the joining and all that. She even has different options if you want to border your mitered square as well. It's very interesting. For me, I wanted to do fingering weight held double. I wanted a DK weight, so I just modified my numbers. So for mine, I will show it to you. This is what I have so far. I am doing a 20 by 20 square. I am using a 4mm, and I am following her pattern the rest of the way. So I'm just going to do strips, and then once I get 1 strip done, then I add as I go. So yeah, I am again just pulling random scraps. I'm trying to be random as I can about it, because I have such a hard time when it comes with scraps. I overthink it, and I'm like, does that look good together? And then I start to put all the colors together. Like, I think I have a lot of green going on right now. So I'm trying just to grab in my bucket and be as random as possible with it. But this is what I have so far. I couldn't tell you what the yarns are. I do know this one, though, is the Northern Pearl. I do know that. So yeah, that is what I have. Fingering weight held double, DK weight. It's so squishy and amazing. I love it. And I am also counting, these are roughly 10 grams per square. So as I pull out my yarn, I'm weighing it first, and then I knit the square. And then once I'm done, I weigh that ball again, and then I figure out my grams. As I said, I'm roughly getting 10 grams per, 9 to 10 grams per square. It varies between 9 to 10, even though I'm still doing 20 by 20 of a square. And then once I get the square done, I'm marking that in my book and I'm numbering the squares. So I'm marking my yardage down as I go, rather than getting the whole blanket done and then try to figure out how many grams that blanket weighs. So that is how I am calculating my grams out for this one. So again, this is the Cozy Memories by Shelley Dupont. I will have it linked below. Polka Dot Creek, very nice pattern. Okay, so the last one that I have to share with you guys is actually from my Frog or Finish. So this is the project that I have chosen for this week that I am going to work on. And I have chosen my granny stripe blanket. So this one has no pattern. I just cast it on, I think it was like 300 stitches. I don't remember if I created a project page for this or not, and if I did I list how many I casted on? Probably not. But this is just fingering weight. I am using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and I'm just doing granny stripes back and forth. And I did show this on Frog or Finish, and as I said, I actually have gotten some work done on it. So I pulled this out this morning. I'll show you the proper, well, both sides are pretty much the same, but where that progress keeper is, that's where I started, and I got that much done on it this morning. So that's a fair little bit. Makes me happy. This project has not seen the light of the day for a while, so it's actually really nice to have put some progress on it. So as you can see, you can kind of see how wide it is, and she is pretty long. I can put it over my feet sitting down, and it comes up to my chest. So I'm kind of thinking, I took a look at my cake. So I did the same concept that I did with the Bits and Bob's cowl. I pulled out a bunch of scraps, small one, like short ones and long ones, tonals, speckles, and I think self-striping. I'm pretty sure that's a self-striping. And I just magic knotted them. I followed Crazy Sock Lady Designs tutorial on magic knotting a ball. I think it's a really great tutorial. I just followed that and magic knotted these all together. I think I made the cake to be around 300 grams or so. I know it was a really massive cake of yarn. I had marked it in my book before when I was counting in grams in and grams out. So I couldn't tell you. But, and I did not weigh this morning. I actually should have. I should have weighed this ball to see how much I started with, but I did not. So I don't know how I'm going to calculate my grams out. Excuse me. But I'll worry about that later. This is what I have left. So I don't know. Is that going to be enough to make this blanket finished? Because as I said, it's already fairly long. It's already coming up to here while I'm sitting. So I think once I put that in, it might actually be a good length. I'm not sure. I said on the Frog or Finish video that I would probably put this ball in and do another 100 grams. That might be too long of a blanket. I don't know. I don't know if I want to make this long enough to go on my bed or just something to throw on my lap while sitting. I don't know how I want to treat this blanket yet. I'm not sure I want it on my bed because of the cats, but again, something that I have to think about. But it is pretty long already. And to be quite honest, I'd like to just call it done once I get that yarn in it, because this has been on the go for a few years. So it would be nice to have it done. But at the same time, it is eating up the scrap yarn really nicely. So we'll see what happens. We shall see. And if you're wanting to do something similar to this, I believe there is a pattern out there for a granny stripe blanket. I don't know who the designer is, but I have seen other podcasters do fingering and even DK weight for a granny stripe. They are pretty simple. It's just granny striping going back and forth. That's why I didn't do a pattern. Follow a pattern, I should say. But it's a very beautiful blanket. And this one is fingering weight, which makes it is so cozy, but it's also, it's not too heavy. It's just really nice. You can kind of see some of the colors a little bit better. I got some thicker stripes down here. Originally, I had started this. These are all Hypnotic yarn. I was getting their Patreon, I think it was, mini skeins every month. And I was just going to do a Hypnotic yarn blanket. And then I stopped getting them. And then I was like, okay, this is going to turn into just a random stripy blanket. And that's what it became. So there's some thicker and thinner stripes in there, but that's not going to bother me any. Not in the slightest. So that is my work in progress project out of my whips that I'm working on for this week. And because I started on Friday, I might continue working on it for going into next week as well, rather than pulling out a new project, just to get some more work done on it, because I can get through that pretty fast. It is fingering weight, but it's crochet, so it does work up fairly fast. So yeah, there's one of them. Okay, so I don't have anything else to share with you guys. That has been my main projects. I did finish 2 Hatching Carrots by Oak and Marlowe. I have shown those on previous episodes. I didn't bother bringing those today, but I did finish 2 of those. So just doing a little bit of market stuff and trying to work through my whips, and it's been fun. So I don't have stash enhancement this week either. I'm not going to show you the Red Heart yarn. I did get 2 balls of opal. I didn't bring those with me. They are already put away in my cabinets. But I was really good. I got a 72 stitch cylinder for my sock machine. And when I ordered it from Sound and Fiber, where I got the sock machine from. They are in Parry Sound, Ontario. And when I ordered the cylinder, I couldn't just order a cylinder. They had opal yarn, so I had to get 2 balls of opal yarn as well. So that is the only stash acquisition besides the project bag that I got. So yeah, I didn't bring that stuff along today to share. So that's what I've been up to, guys. What have you guys been working on? Has the weather been nice where you are? Today we had snow last night, and we're supposed to get snow again tomorrow. But hopefully spring is around the corner, because I really enjoyed having the sunshine and sitting outside. So hopefully it is around the corner. Anyways, until next time, guys, show notes will be linked down below. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe. It does help. And follow me over on Instagram. That is where I am most active. I sometimes share pictures of what I am working on and in stories, mostly in stories. But yeah, you can follow me over there. So until next time, guys, I shall see you hopefully again next week. Bye.